Alright, fellow Slayers, time for the final episode of Review of the Day, which is Becoming Part 1. A half-demon named Whistler talks about how in every life there are turning points where certain moments help to determine your life's course, with some moments being simple, subtle ones. Key events in Angel's past are interlaced with current events in Sunnydale. In Galloway, Ireland, 1753, Liam, the man who will become Angel, is kicked out of a tavern along with his friend because they have run out of money. The friend slumps in the snowy road while drunken, unsuspecting Liam is lured into an alley by a beautiful blonde. She is Darla, who bites him and thus sires him. Sunnydale, 1998. Buffy tries to send a warm message to Angel via vampire, who refuses to do the chore. She stakes him as Angel watches from afar. Next day, Giles visits a museum that has just discovered a big stone block. The man in charge, Doug Perrin, agrees to wait for Giles to examine it, and Giles discovers an opening of the rock. Meanwhile, Willow offers help Buffy study for the chemistry final. London, 1860. Drusilla is a young Catholic girl who enters a confessional booth just as Angelus kills the actual priest. She talks about her unwanted visions, such as one of a cave-in had in mind that happened that morning. Angelus, posing as the priest, derides her as a devil child before finally agreeing to let her go with 10 Our Fathers and act of contrition. Sunnydale, 1998. At Crawford Street Mansion, Drusilla lets Angel know what she and Spike read in the paper about the museum's new discovery. They decide to pay a visit to the curator. Meanwhile, Buffy's struggling with Will's lesson when her pencil slips to the floor beside the floppy disk Miss Calendar had dropped beside the teacher's desk. Will pops the disk on the computer and they are shocked when they realize the content. Unbeknownst to them, Jenny's just translated a document telling how to curse Angel and saved it on the disk. The Romanian woods in 1898. The body of a young Romani girl lies on a table next to fire as an elderly woman recites a curse for an orb of Methuselah. Angelus runs through the woods toward the camp. The woman completes the ritual restoration and Angelus falls to the ground, his eyes glow and his soul restored. A Romani elder emerges beside Angelus and rejoices over the suffering he soon endured, as Angelus will soon remember and feel remorse for every foul act he has committed over the previous 100 years. Sunnydale, 1998. Giles explains that the ritual requires much knowledge about magic, but Will is undeterred. Xander believes that Angel should die for his crimes and upsets Giles with his comments about Miss Calendar. Xander thinks Buffy is selfish. She leaves to go ahead and encounters fellow Slayer Kendra, who has returned the information that a dark power is about to rise in Sunnydale. At the same time, Drusilla kills the curator while Angel and his minions steal the statue. Angel returns to tell Spike the story of Akathala, a demon that came to suck the world into hell. A virtuous knight stabbed him in the heart before he could draw a breath. But someone worthy can remove the sword to awaken Akathala. Angel wants to make history end. Kendra has brought a sword blessed by the same knight who stopped Akathala. Manhattan, New York, 1996. A dirty angel stumbles aimlessly through the streets, looking like a homeless man, and ends up in an alley lined with trash where he attempts to kill a rat for food. A good demon, Whistler, appears out of the darkness and asks for a chance to show him something so he can make a choice about whether he wants to change. Los Angeles, 1996. A Chevrolet Impala stops in front of Henry High School, and Angel rolls down the window just enough to catch a glimpse of young Buffy exiting with 3 friends. She appears to be vain, vacuous, and definitely spoiled. Then a watcher finds her, Merrick, shocking her with a tale about her destiny fighting vampires. He then observes her in the cemetery, staking for his vampire rather clumsily. Angel watches as she goes home. Her father yells at her for being gone without telling him where she was going. Her mother seems a bit more understanding. After watching the whole ordeal, Angel says that he wants to be somebody and help Buffy. Sunnydale, 1998. Angel kills a human, spreads blood on his palm, then recites an incantation in Latin and tries to pull out the sword unsuccessfully. Spike is amused, but Drusilla is not. Angel decides to pay a visit to an old friend to find out what he should do to complete the ritual. The next day, Buffy and Will are taking an exam when a vampire walks to the front of the classroom and self-immolates, telling Buffy as she is killed by sunlight that she must meet Angel. The Scoobies fight about whether or not to perform the restoration. Xander wants Angel killed, but Buffy wants him to be restored, though she has accepted that she might have to kill him. Buffy asks Will to perform the restoration as a safety measure and asks Kendra to stay behind to protect her friends. Will says it will take around half an hour to perform the ritual, a subsequent orb of Methuselah. Giles tells her he has one and that he's been using it as a paperweight. Will tells Buffy she should fight to delay Angel. Buffy finds Angel at the cemetery and they start fighting. However, Angel's used the same ploy used before, diverting Buffy while a group of vampires attack her vulnerable friends. Willow is knocked down and trapped under some fallen bookshelves, and Xander ends up unconscious on the upper level. Cordelia is the only one able to escape. Drusilla enters and hypnotizes Kendra before slitting her neck. She falls to the ground, motionless. Drusilla says they should take what they came for and leave. At that, the vampires drag away an unconscious Giles as Buffy bursts into the school. She rushes to the library, finds Kendra's body, and takes her hand. She reaches Kendra's face with her hand and strokes it gently. As Buffy mourns her fellow slayer, a police officer appears and tells her to freeze. Dun dun dun. So let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. This is Darla's first appearance since her death on the episode Angel. Liam being sired by Darla marks the first siring on camera. The details surrounding Angel's siring are further expounded upon in the Angel episode The Prodigal. Buffy and Will discover Ginny's desk containing her translation from the episode Passion. Spike is shown to be fully healed from his ordeal in What's Smiling Part 2, and able to walk and with his face rid of any wounds. When Giles reveals he has an orb of Methuselah, he mentions that he's been using it as a paperweight. In Passion, the Dragon's Cup owner told Jenny that he usually sold the relics to tourists as New Age paperweights. Drusilla kills Kendra in a manner reminiscent of the way the Master killed Buffy by hypnotizing her. Kendra's death activates a new Slayer, Faith. Buffy and Xander's fight about whether or not Angel should be killed for his crimes is much like the one that held about Anya and Selfless, only the roles are reversed. A flashback shows Angel seeing Buffy for the first time, marking the beginning of their intertwined fates, setting in motion the predestined evolution that they were supposed to complete. This episode marks the second time a vampire is killed by immolation in sunlight, the first being Colin in Schoolhard. In a flashback, Buffy misses Heart the first time she tries to take a vampire, and she'll tell Donna while training her in lessons. Whistler jokingly says that Buffy was prettier than the last one. The Master said the same thing when first meeting her in Nightmares. When Buffy realizes that Angel has lured her away from the library so that Giles can be captured, he points out that she falls for it every single time. And when she was bad, she followed a deceptive lead, allowing Willow and Giles to be kidnapped for the Master's restoration. So now let's take a look at some goofs with this episode. In the 1996 flashback, the reflection of Angel's hand on the steering wheel can be seen in the side mirror. Now let's take a look at some awards. Becoming Part 1 won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Music Composition for a Series, Dramatic Underscore. Nice. So overall, as the first part of the Season 2 finale, this episode is really, really dang good, and definitely sets up everything that's going to happen in Part 2, so yeah. So overall, I give Becoming Part 1 4 vampire stakes out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in tomorrow as we take a look at the final part and the final episode of Season 2, Becoming Part 2. So, until then, here endeth the lesson.